This episode of the Acts of Geekery podcast is brought to you by the Hypnotoad. All glory to the Hypnotoad. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Acts of Geekery podcast. Back after a long hiatus.
We're
Short
very
hiatus.
late. Very, very late.
I'm Cory.
And I'm Scott.
And we're the Brothers Geek, but we are joined today by one of our friends, close friends, dear friends.
Geek friend, geek, associate geek.
Geek intern.
Geek intern, whatever you want to call it.
Adam Call. Hi, Adam.
Hi, Scott, Cory. How are you guys doing today?
Really good. Really excited to have you here.
Some of us are con sick still.
Yeah.
That's why, part of the reason why I didn't do it last week.
I
would have talked like this the whole time.
Actually, I would have too, but that's just because my voice was gone.
It's just because you're weird.
A lot of shouting. We did a lot of shouting. But
that wasn't shouting like, woo, Comic-Con. It was like, hey, over here.
Trying to talk over these people.
How much? How much is your thing? What? What did you say?
It was busy, is what we're trying to say.
Yeah, I heard it was pretty packed.
Yeah.
95,000 people on Saturday. Largest convention in Utah, third largest Comic-Con in the world.
Oh, I thought they had just about matched New York.
Well, I think in total they had more than 95. Just only on Saturday they had 95.
Oh yeah, they had 120,000.
Yeah, no, that was just I was just saying just Saturday was 95,000, but they had 150,000 or something total. I mean, they sold out, so you couldn't buy any more tickets or anything.
Do you want to talk about Comic-Con now and then get into the news? Get that out of the way because we have a lot of news to cover today.
It is a lot of news. Yeah, we can discuss a little bit.
Because we have 2 weeks of news.
The Brothers Geek went, and we were there handing out geek cards to people we liked and fans and stuff.
I got my geek card today.
Good job. Good job.
And you'll probably lose it sometime.
I'll probably lose it on the podcast.
I can't wait.
Don't lose it by the end of the show. Adam was not able to go. He had other obligations to take care of.
Pressing business.
Yeah, so that sucks. But you went to FanX before, right?
I did go to FanX.
Okay.
Yeah.
And a lot of people say that FanX was pretty good. It was pretty much just like Comic-Con.
Just a little bit less like Comic-Con. Actually, there were more people at FanX than there were at Comic-Con the first year.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, from the first year, yeah, sure. I'm sure this Comic-Con beat FanX.
Oh
yeah,
absolutely.
Hands down. I know for my job with the UTA transit people, we set records of ridership on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
And we were there all 3 ways.
Yeah,
it
was packed.
I was reading some stories on that there were a lot of people weirded out because all of a sudden all these people are coming onto the tracks trains and they're all dressed up in their Comic-Con costumes, cosplays.
We're just trying to get to work. What's going on?
I've walked in downtown Salt Lake City. It's nothing they haven't seen before.
I thoroughly enjoyed my time there. I thought everything was really cool. I got to meet all the creators I wanted to meet, which is really awesome. Scott Johnson was there. I kind of plugged him every time I talked to him.
Scott Johnson of the Morning Stream and Frog Pants Studios and a whole bunch of other stuff.
Kind of one of the father programs of not like they sponsor us, but more like, oh, they're really good at podcasting. It makes me want a podcast.
It kind of got Cory into it.
Yeah.
And I listened to him a little more, and I like him. So
yeah.
We supported him. We bought a couple of his prints and stuff, which is cool.
We bought a lot of stuff. I have a prop replica that I'll have to post up on the Facebook page for everybody to look at. Write that down. We're going to start writing these down.
Scribble, Facebook.
15 buses.
something dark side.
Wow, that's like a total inside joke for me, is the 15 buses.
Yeah, I think that's so inside that I didn't even get it.
Yeah, that's like one of the ones
Adam?
that you...
Adam? No? Yeah, exactly. Nope. You never got it. That was like inside squared.
It's Hot Rod. It's from Hot Rod.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty obscure.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Anyway, Chad Harden was there.
He's our one of our favorite artists.
Yep. Harley Quinn. He had pretty much Well, my second favorite panel. We didn't go to too many panels or anything like that.
There was so much stuff. There was so much stuff there that there was not a lot of time to do anything but just walk around and see everything.
Yeah, we got to paint some miniatures.
It took all 3 days. All 3 days to even get around the whole convention floor to see everything that was there.
Do they record the panels so you can watch them later on?
I think some do. Not all of them, though.
I think they should start doing that a lot more.
Yeah,
because,
and offer them up on their website for people that didn't make
people you get a virtual ticket if you just want to see panels. You can go listen to your favorite celebrity talk and everything like that.
Kind of like what they do for like BlizzCon or those other conventions.
Super excited for BlizzCon this year, by the way.
We're not going to it, but we're having our own little
shindig
for it, which we seem to do every year.
And I'll try to be here this time.
You were there last time. You just had to leave early for a wedding or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you'll be okay.
But you guys...
That's why you're not an
were
official geek?
rewatching them.
Yeah.
Because it was already over by the time I...
That's why you're not an official geek. You're only intern geek because you're not willing to stay for the whole time and ditch your family's wedding and stuff. Like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah, you have these weird priorities of real life comes before geek stuff, which is kind of...
That's weird. That's so weird.
It's just kind of awkward.
I'll work on that.
Yeah.
And work hard on that.
So all in all, it was a great con. Thank you to everybody we saw out there and got to talk with.
Yeah.
Hopefully we've got a few new listeners out there. I know I met a lot of cool people. A lot of people actually liked my cosplay, which was really cool. So
Cory went as Penguin, and his wife went as Catwoman one day, and Batgirl the next day, which was cool.
And I was probably the only Penguin there. I heard one other Penguin.
I didn't see any others. I saw lots of Jokers and Two-Face and a couple Riddlers, no Penguin. So
so
there you go.
Cha-ching, way to go me with my unique.
Got a lot of
cosplay.
Pictures.
Being
Got a lot of
original.
pictures of people. Which is cool.
We still have to post those up.
Yep.
How many geek cards did you pass out?
Probably about like 20, 30 or so.
We kind of didn't just give them out to whoever we took a picture with and everything like that. We kind of gave them out to people who we thought deserved them, people we talked to.
But people that are listening, if you want one, come talk to us. We'll give you a geek card.
Yeah, send us an email. Send us a what do they call it? One of those paid envelopes that
the prepaid envelopes.
Yeah, the prepaid envelopes that we can send the card back to you.
No, we'll figure a way to get to you.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's no one out of like 10 miles from our house.
Well, except for me.
Well,
I'm 80
count.
miles
That's
away.
true. That's
I calculated today.
Sheesh. No wonder it's like rough to get out here on Saturday for D&D.
It's like, okay, I'll leave at 4 and be there by 8.
Yeah, I have to leave like 2.5 hours early.
Yeah. Which, by the way, we're going to try next week to end a little earlier, so we want to get started on time. So make sure you're on time.
Yeah, don't be late.
Yeah. I wake up late the next day anyway, so it doesn't matter what time I go to bed.
Yeah, it's kind of just this.
It's just more like thing. It's more like after 3 or 4 hours of playing, I think everyone gets kind of we either need to take like a half-hour break, and do something completely different, or we just need to stop and not try to go as far, as long.
All right.
But
I think that's good.
There was a lot. We found the game room, which was cool. We had no idea it was there.
Next time, I might just spend my entire time in the game room.
Yeah, I figured you would.
Or spend a day there.
We learned how to paint miniatures for our D&D.
Oh, really?
Miniatures, yeah. So we were able to do that. So now we know some techniques on how to paint them and make them look pretty cool.
Did you get any tools or brushes or anything?
No, you got to keep the miniature once you're done with it, and we can show you those later. But we found some really cool terrain that for D&D
stackable tiles.
Oh, okay.
And everything like that. So
like some of the other tabletop games that I've seen.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like a HeroScape type thing.
Yeah.
So there's that. And in fact, that's what they were designed for. Apparently, the ones we were looking at
for
HeroScape.
Oh, okay.
But and so some people were like, "Why would you design something that already has their own tile system?"
Yeah.
But either way, it could be used for other things, which is really cool. Ton of artists. Ton of artists. There were
and they put them prominent
100 at least 100 150 artists out there, about 100 in Artist Alley alone, and then just kind of sprinkled in all over the place was poster art and prints and things like that for comic books. It was great. It was great. I spent way too much money on them, but that's okay.
Me too.
I can fill the scum or the hive of scum and villainy with all these different posters and prints.
How were all the booths situated this time? Because it seemed like there were no empty booths when I went to FanX before.
There wasn't anything empty.
But it just seems like there was a lot more this time. Where did they fit it all?
I have no idea, because they said they even widened the lanes from the first year, and I'm not sure what they did that for FanX or not, but they went all wrap around the building and everything.
They filled the entire convention center was full.
Yeah.
Every room was being used. They'd rented the entire thing. It wasn't like the first Comic-Con where they rented half of it out and it was just packed, and they realized, oh crap, we need more room. We need way more room.
There was hardly any room for tables and stuff. They didn't have too many places where you could sit down and eat. Like, they had a few tables, but they didn't have quite as many as last year, because they realized we need all of this space for people coming in.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is pretty crazy. And then I heard that they doubled the volunteer staff for the second day because they were swarmed the first day.
Yeah.
And they weren't expecting it. So that's kind of understandable for this being their second year. And they're still running into hiccups right at the beginning.
Yeah, they're trying to fix everything.
And next year, they'll probably do the registration stuff easier, because this year, if you went on Thursday, you ended up staying in line for like 4.5 hours.
Yeah,
just to get your badge and your registration.
They were checking everybody's like bags that they were bringing in.
Really?
Yeah, that's why it took so long.
I didn't know that was the problem. Holy crap!
And then they stopped doing that the next 2 days.
They're just like, whatever. If a shooting happens, it's fine.
Yeah, we got plenty of superheroes here.
Yeah,
they can protect us.
Yeah.
Right?
Save us, Supermans.
I'm sure there might have been some concealed carries there too.
Oh, probably. It was, all in all, though, it was really fun. Had a blast. Don't like the after effects though. For like 3 days, we're all pretty much a zombie because we're so tired from it. And you probably experienced the same thing from FanX. It's just 8 hours of walking around and your voice goes away. And
yep, it did.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like we only went half the day Saturday, pretty much, because we were just like, we are so exhausted.
All your money's gone. Yeah. You're tired. You're hungry. you
just want to go home.
Like, I'm going to go home and watch a geek movie or something.
We got these pedometers at work, and one of my coworkers wore his to Comic-Con, and he said in one day, and it wasn't even the full day yet, he had gotten 32,000 steps.
Oh my gosh!
I don't doubt it. I mean, there were times where you would walk back and forth across the entire convention hall because one person wanted to see something on the total other end. So you'd walk around, you'd walk through all the crowds and everything to the other side, see it, and then be like, oh crap, I got to show you something this way. And then you walk all the way back.
Yeah, you see something on your way, and you're like, I need to come back.
I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop and come back to that. I'm going to stop and come back to that. I'm going to buy one of those. I'm going to buy 3 of those.
I can't buy one of those. It's too expensive.
Yeah. Funko Pop, there were dozens of booths.
You got 3 more.
I got 3 more that I had never had. I got the Iron Giant, Kerrigan from StarCraft, and Dr. Manhattan from The Watchmen, which I had never seen them anywhere.
They all look
like
really
our local,
cool.
like our local show or anything like that, or local comic book store. I haven't seen them there. And they were a blast, but there were so many of them. Yeah. I mean, they had the DeLorean time machine, which is like a double-sized one, which your Marty McFly Funko can actually sit in it. They have one that's the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man that's 6 inches tall.
Yep. They have
like Ghostbusters.
A Wampa from Star Wars.
They have a tall, that Luke kills in Empire Strikes Back.
Yep. They should make like a miniature one, and it'd be like an Ewok.
An Ewok.
So they've got
Ewaka.
Ewampa.
Yeah.
Ewampa.
Because they've got all of them are about the same size, and they're roughly human height. So have like mini miniatures.
A half-size one.
Yeah, a half-size one.
Yeah, like the Hobbit ones can be half size, but the problem there is if they still want to charge the $10 for them, you're like, oh, I have to pay $10 for one that's half the size.
Yeah, because they double the price for the big ones.
Yeah,
but that was cool. I liked that there were more of those there, and there were people walking around with them in their hands and stuff. Tons of art, tons of shirts. If you're into t-shirts like I am,
my wife's got one.
It was hard for me to not just throw money at people.
You just wanted to start consuming them right there.
Because I eat t-shirts all the time, right?
Yep, that's how you feed.
That's why I buy so many.
Yep, exactly. You need
cotton.
The more geeky the shirt, the better it tastes.
Okay,
that's how it goes.
All right, I'll go with that. Sure.
All right, so all in all, great convention.
Fantastic.
Absolutely.
I thought we'd have more to talk about it, but it's just kind of one of those things that's so overwhelming. You kind of just have to go. So go. If you haven't gone, go. Adam, go. Next year, go.
Okay, next year I will go.
I don't care if you have to go AWOL from the Army because they're doing their drills and stuff at the time. I don't care if you have to go AWOL. We'll dress you up in something. They'll never find you.
So do you think they should extend it by a day or two and just like the whole week be Comic-Con?
I would only be okay with them maybe starting like on a Wednesday.
Like a preview night type thing.
Yeah, exactly. If they did like preview nights where companies would announce new movies, new games, things like that. And you could go sit in a big theater somewhere, or in a room that has screens and stuff.
Yeah.
Like their big ballroom.
I think 3 days is already hard enough for us to handle. And Saturday, oh my gosh, Saturday was so busy. Like we spent half of our time standing in a crowd because there was no way to move at that moment. Like you had to wait for one person who was taking a picture or something like that. Which, by the way, next year, people, please wait until you're in a more open area to take your pictures, your cosplay pictures.
They should have had. I didn't see one. They should have had an area that was pretty much like called cosplay. And if you're not there, I mean, maybe follow them. Follow the cosplayers back to that area.
Did they have a cosplay costume competition?
They did.
I think they did. I did not go see it, and I did not remember.
Again, we were like, so look at all this cool stuff, and we totally forgot that there were panels going on.
Yeah, we went to 2.
Yeah, well, 3. We went to the Best and the Worst of the DC New 52.
Yep, which we really enjoyed.
Yeah, that was a good one. We went to Eliza Dushku's panel.
Well, half of it.
Yeah.
And only because they let us in early to get to Alan Tudyk's panel.
Yeah. Hers was okay.
I did not like it one bit.
I know you didn't like it at all.
She was on Buffy and Angel a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah, she's one of the Slayers, and she's in there. She's answering questions like this, and she stops in the middle of all the questionnaires and is like, I'm going to talk to you about Gulu, Uganda, Africa, or wherever the hell it is, and about her charity. And then brings her mom on stage to talk about the charity.
Yeah, and kind of says, ask my mom questions.
And for the next
right in the middle of the panel,
minutes.
when there were already people, that was the problem that I had, was there were already about 3 people on each side because people want to ask her questions.
Yeah.
And then in the middle of it, she brings her mom up on stage and they do a couple more questions where they're asking Eliza Dushku questions. And then all of a sudden she goes, let's get some people up here with questions for my mom too.
No one cares about your mom. I'm sorry. The only thing that they care about your mom is the fact that your mom and your dad got together once, maybe had a night where they regretted. I don't know. That's up to them. And you came out of it. Right?
Yeah. No.
She's there for her fandom. She shouldn't be talking about her charity stuff. If she wants to do her charity stuff, that's fantastic. That's great. Don't do it at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
You can plug it in at the end of the panel and then have them come
Go to my website
come to your booth.
Yeah,
or
and
your
talk to you at the booth.
Exactly.
Drove me crazy.
I think it was okay to have her mom come up on stage, but she should have done it in the beginning.
It also made it very awkward, though. People did not want
to ask questions like
how did you like playing the naked stripper from such and such movie?
Yeah,
because her
really
mom was
pull
there.
off this well. This barely anything looking look. But yeah, so that one was okay, and then Alan Tudyk came up.
Yeah,
and
I thought he was great.
He had a great panel. He actually brought people up on stage.
He sat them in chairs.
Yep, and he asked them a question first, and then they got to ask his question. And then afterwards, he pulled something out of what he called, and I'm quoting here, his bag of shit, and handed them something like a signed cap, or one of them got like a photo album from a marathon that he ran in.
Yeah. And like I said, it's just a bag of crap.
It's a bag of crap. So he would hand people that and everything like that.
He would say, oh, let me give you some crap.
Yep. I heard Manu Bennett came on stage and he talked about some cancer charity. Then he brought up a little girl who was a cancer survivor and everything. And he was like, hey, this is the one of the best superheroes I've ever seen and everything. And the little girl was all happy, which is cool. Manu Bennett's a cool guy. I heard Stephen Amell was really good. Michael Rosenbaum was really active, apparently, in his panel. He was like down off the stage, walking through the crowd with his microphone.
Bruce Campbell was apparently, he came on and he was singing and stuff, and like just all kinds of crazy stuff.
I think he actually went to the Walking Dead musical that they have going on there, and I think he participated in it. Not Walking Dead, Evil Dead, Army of Darkness / Evil Dead musical. The
Walking Dead. It's just a bunch of zombies.
But they're all singing the Game of Thrones theme.
That was probably true.
Yeah,
we should totally make
the Walking Dead musical.
Walking Dead, enjoy Game of Thrones.
And you can do one of those YouTube videos where it shows you doing all of the parts, and
yeah,
all the squares,
where just a bunch of different zombies.
And you have to have the look too. Your head's cocked kind of sideways. You're like,
you can't see that on the podcast. So, and I heard Carrie Elways had a really good panel and everything like that.
Eels.
Yeah, I thought it was Elways.
No, it's Eels.
Oh my gosh.
No, it's really Elways. I'm just everyone's like, no, it's Elways, and I'm like, no, that's Elways. Elways, like John Elway.
Yeah, exactly.
Not
the
John,
famous John Elway.
Yeah. Really, you don't know who John Elway is?
No.
San Francisco 49ers football player.
Okay, good. I thought I was going to lose a geek card there. Whew, it's sports.
Yeah, no, it's not geeks. I guess
you lost a sports card.
We don't do other cards.
We already decided we're not going to do other cards.
Yeah.
No, it's a sports geek reference, I guess. And I am definitely not a sports geek. So I'm surprised that you've just
been watching the league too much lately.
I guess.
Yeah.
And I don't think he was on the 49ers. He was on the Broncos. LA.
Oh, I lost my sports card.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Shows you how much I know about sports. Other than some of them make more money than small countries.
Yes.
That's
a lot of sportsing you did out there today.
Did you sports harder than other people's sports? All right, so let's go ahead and get into the news.
So much news.
Oh, my gosh, because, we're behind.
2 weeks behind.
Mm-hmm. And Scott, how do we usually start the news segment?
Horribly, apparently. Right now. I don't know.
With Dawn of Justice news,
yes,
we have it.
Or Avengers.
Yeah, whichever one comes up. And this week, there's a lot of Dawn of Justice.
Yeah, quite
a bit. First things first, the Batmobile.
Yes.
If you haven't seen the Batmobile yet, we'll post it up on the Facebook page. Write that down, too.
Scribble, Batmobile, scribble, Facebook, scribble, Cory's weird, scribble.
Alrighty. But I'm writing other stuff down.
You've got the computer.
So they announced, or they revealed, or some photos got leaked of the Batmobile.
Yep.
Which looks really cool, in my opinion. It's kind of a cross between the old Batmobile and the Tumbler.
Yeah, it looks very deadly.
Yeah, it looks.
The game, Arkham Knight,
mm-hmm.
the one that's coming out.
Yeah.
It looks kind of like that one.
And I would say that that's a good step to take.
Yep.
Because not only is it like, oh, look, that's the Batmobile from the video game. It's kind of like, this is the way we want it to look. We're going to keep everything uniform and together.
I never liked the original Batmobiles.
The really long one?
I never liked. I thought that was the stupidest type of vehicle for a superhero to drive.
I liked him.
Oh, crap. There's a curb. Well, yeah. Batman can't go there because the Batmobile can't go up the curb.
I like them.
A sharp turn.
Yeah. I like them until they turn or they move, and you see the fin on the back going. Yes. So yeah, they showed leaked photos of Batmobile. We all agree it looks really cool. And then somebody in Detroit stole it.
Yes, I saw this the other day.
Oh my gosh, I don't know any more details than that, but apparently somebody in Detroit decided, I want the Batmobile,
and they stole it. And they stole it either off the lot or wherever they were filming.
Which, surprise, surprise, that happens in Detroit.
Yeah, no kidding.
Detroit's like the Jersey of our side of the country.
It's like the Detroit of America.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got. We got other news from the Dawn of Justice. Bennedict Cumberblack.
Cumberbatch.
Cumberblack.
Cumberbatch. Batch. Say batch.
Batch.
Say Cumber.
Cumber.
Say Batch Cumber.
Batch Cumber.
Now say Cumberbatch.
No, I won't.
Malk.
Give me the Malk, Josh.
Okay.
There's another inside joke. You're right. We do a lot of inside references on this podcast.
Yeah. If
I
you
am
have any
noticing.
questions,
Yeah.
if anyone has any questions, just send us an email or Facebook comment. We'll tell you exactly where that came from.
Yeah. You know, Adam,
Or
did
we
you
might
write
go-
me
or
down
we
before
might-
you came over?
Did I write any questions?
Yeah. Do you have any questions for us?
I'm sure I'll have some on the way.
Okay, good. If you ever think of anything, just let us know.
Okay.
By the way, I was going to say we're going to ruin the illusion.
Yeah.
Now that you're here, you don't get to see you only get to see the final product most of the time. Now you get to see the rough raw copy.
Yeah,
of everything. Ugh.
Anyway, Bennedict Cumberblack.
Cumberbatch. Played Khan in
Yes.
Star Trek II: Wrath of Khan. Not really. Star Trek Into Darkness.
He's the Ricardo Montalban of cons, as you would say.
Apparently. He played it in Into Darkness. He also plays Sherlock on the BBC Sherlock TV show.
And he's Smaug
He is Smaug.
in The Hobbit.
Yes, he
And
is.
Smaug?
He is the voice of Smaug, yes.
Go back and watch it.
I'm watching a
'Cause
mind.
now it's-
I'm watching a mind being blown right
Now I
now.
have to, yeah, I'm gonna have to go watch it.
Yeah,
Again.
because Martin Freeman plays Watson in Sherlock, and he's Bilbo in The
Yeah,
Hobbit. So it's a really interesting. Oh, you're like, so many memes make so much more sense now.
Yes.
It is true.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't really get that, but it looks cool.
Yeah.
Now you get it.
But he's being eyed for 2 different DC superhero roles.
Yeah, I heard about this.
Yeah.
He was going to be a villain in Dawn of Justice, but they didn't say who.
Yeah. And which, I would say Brainiac would be an okay choice for him. Maybe like an Apocalypse person, like Desaad or...
Brainiac would work.
Yeah, I think he would be an okay Brainiac. I like
Yeah,
John Noble as Brainiac.
He's got such an acting range. He could probably play almost anyone and do good at it.
Yeah.
You know, does Brainiac have a British accent
No, but he
or a
can.
Coluan accent? Because Brainiac's from the planet Colu.
There, don't you know that Coluan accent is the same as British accents?
Oh, yeah, it makes
That-
sense.
yeah, that's how they explain
That's how
it.
they portray it in the comic books.
Yep.
Think
Hi
about
there,
the
Governor.
I'm here to take over your world.
I am.
I am.
It's a Cockney accent.
Oh, I hate Cockney accents so bad right
But
now.
who's the other one he's going to play? Or rumored to play?
They are eyeing him for the Martian Manhunter, or just Manhunter, if they don't want to do Martian.
I'm going to go punch
Manhunter.
David Goyer in the throat right now.
But with that first, when I heard, oh, Benedict Cumberbatch as Martian Manhunter, I was like, okay, he's not really Martian Manhunter material.
Yeah.
But then I was like, oh, wait, he could just do the voice.
Yep.
That's fine. They
Yeah.
can color him however they want.
Yeah.
Well, it's just green.
Yeah.
You know, I think a lot of people they pick a lot of black actors because they think that they're going to do Martian Manhunters, like a whole movie with him as John Jones, which is his alter ego as a human. However, they don't have to. I mean, if they're doing a full Justice League and he's just going to be there in the Justice League,
Yeah.
you know,
There's
they don't
no
have,
need for him to blend in.
yeah, they don't have to have him be.
Do you know who Martian Manhunter is?
Did you ever watch Smallville?
I didn't watch all of Smallville.
Okay, so you probably didn't see the Martian Manhunter in Smallville.
I did
Doesn't
not.
actually show up as green. He's just a black guy in it, though.
Yeah.
But he has basically the same powers as Clark Kent, as Superman.
And then some.
And then some. And he's telepathic. He can shape change. All kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
He's probably the strongest character in the DC universe. However,
Really?
he's always underplayed, underwritten.
He
you
once
know.
connected the minds of everybody in the universe all together?
Simultaneously
Yeah.
together. And he acted as the
Conduit.
network switch, basically.
He
Between
was the
them.
hive mind,
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much.
the overmind.
Yeah.
The
So
Overmind.
he's probably the strongest psychic in all of comics.
Yep.
Wow.
Which is pretty
So-
cool. He's one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, I only watched him in like the old Justice League cartoons.
They did not do him justice.
Nope. Although in Justice League
Unlimited?
Doom,
Oh, a Doom.
he's in it and he does a pretty good job at the whole shape changing and
And they started doing that a little bit more towards the end of the series, where he started shape-changing more and turning into creatures rather than just phasing through things.
Yeah,
because that's pretty much all he did. Yeah. He was just, I'm an alien who can fly and then fly through things at sometimes. And I
can breathe in space.
Yeah. He became a better character, and honestly, Martian Manhunter is one of my favorite characters from the Justice League cartoon series, because he's the guy who holds the group together, because he doesn't have any other family, because everybody on his planet's dead. Clark Kent can say that about his race too.
But then they find Supergirl, and they find all the other.
Yeah. And he's got the Kents. He was adopted and he lives on Earth. Yeah.
Yeah. As a baby, he grew up with parents.
Yeah.
He didn't know about his biological parents until he was an adult.
The Martian Manhunter was a husband, a father, and he was an awesome.
And he was actually brought forward in time by an experiment from his planet, and found out later that everyone on his planet contracted some kind of mental sickness, and they all died.
They got mental HIV.
Mental hive. Yes.
Mental hive. Yeah, so he's one of my favorite characters. Please, guys, go back and watch the Justice League cartoon series. It's on Netflix. It's really cool.
And it's fun. It's way fun.
Okay, so moving on. Let's
but
talk
he could
about...
do it. Benedict Cumberbatch, I think Cumberbatch could do it. I think he would play great.
He could be anything.
So long as Martian Manhunter's British.
He can play a non-British accent.
Have you ever seen him do a non-British accent?
All British can do a non-British accent.
Yeah, that's true.
But not all Americans can do a British accent.
No, not a good one.
Everyone can try. Live over there for a little bit.
Yeah.
So, Scott, Linda Carter,
the classic Wonder Woman from the 70s.
She was asked, because her opinion matters, about what about what Wonder Woman, like what she thought of the new Wonder Woman's outfit.
Okay.
And she said, I'm not too big of a fan of the fact that it doesn't have the classic stars and stripes and the classic colors.
Bright red, bright white, blue, all that stuff.
The classic color scheme. But she said that she's happy that Wonder Woman is being portrayed. She's a great character that needs to be on the big screen.
Then you need to have a different person portraying her. Yep, we understand.
Okay, all right. We have a third person here.
We have a third person.
Let's weigh in on this.
I do not like Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. I don't think she is built enough for it.
I think she will be fine as Wonder Woman. Do you even know who Gal Gadot
is? You showed a picture before.
Yeah.
And I kind of lean towards Scott.
She's too skinny. She needs more definition.
Give her a chance.
We already did, and they put her in the costume too early.
She needs to bulk up like all the other male actors for their roles.
No, it's actually true.
Wonder Woman needs to be all like all the other male actors.
She has zero definition. She has zero definition in her legs or in her arms. It's like, really? That's not what I picture Wonder Woman as.
It's supposed to be an Amazonian warrior.
Wonder Woman's supposed to be able to like crush you with her thighs, not just like, oh look, there's little twigs you're standing on. Anyways, Linda Carter.
And she can lift a car.
Yeah, I think your opinion's a little skewed on what you want Wonder Woman to do to you, Scott.
Well.
But she says, she's okay with the changes. She understands things have to change.
That's great. Linda Carter, awesome. Now go back to your plastic-covered couch and watch Murder, She Wrote.
The show is so good.
Or Matlock. I guess that's the other one. Right?
Moving over to Warner Brothers TV news.
Yay! Some of the things I'm most excited for this year.
Yeah, actually. Arrow had some photos that weren't leaked, but they were like official photos.
Right.
Where you got to see, Oliver with the people that mean most to him, blah, blah, blah.
He's finally wearing a mask for those of you that didn't like Arrow Season 1 because he just put black paint over his eyes.
Yeah, he got a mask about halfway through Season 2, and he looks much better.
He got a real mask.
And now his buddy Red Arrow, or Arsenal.
Or Speedy.
Was
his original nickname.
But he is now wearing a costume.
But they're going to call him Arsenal.
Which is fine.
And I in the comics, he never got the name Arsenal until after the government trained him in all the different weapons. And he can use an arsenal of weapons, basically,
But, they can't just call him Red Arrow because they can't call Green Arrow Green Arrow.
Apparently, yeah.
They can't be both called Arrow. And you can't call him Speedy because they already gave that nickname to
Red variety.
Yeah. Arrow Red, Code Red, Code Arrow.
Hey, not unless you're endorsing Mountain Dew can he be Code Red.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that is like the perfect endorsement.
Red Arrow, now cherry flavored.
Yeah, because it's Green Arrow, Mountain Dew.
Green Mountain Dew and Red Mountain Dew.
Okay.
Arrow, WB, send us a royalty check for the great idea we just gave you. Thank you.
I'm still waiting. Waiting for those from Marvel and stuff.
Yeah, they just don't listen to us.
No, they don't.
No.
All those executives listen to our podcast every day, and they just don't listen to
They don't email either.
I know.
Would you guys send in an email?
Guys are a big bunch of jerks.
Give us a scoop.
I'll take a scoop of ice cream for payment. Yeah, exactly. A scoop.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
2 scoops.
2 scoops.
I saw the pictures. They were pretty cool. Adam, we showed you right before we started this. It looks pretty good, actually.
Are you interested at all in Arrow? I know you haven't watched it.
I have been wanting to start watching it at some point in time.
Oh,
I just haven't started it.
Go watch the first season. We'll wait.
Okay.
Did you watch it yet?
Not yet.
Okay, well...
This is going to be a long episode.
This is very disappointing.
Just like, at the beginning, real life kind of gets in the way for me.
15 hours of silence later, and he's back.
It sucked. Oh, right. You didn't watch it with a friend. Make sure you watch it with a friend that you can make fun of it with. That makes it like
Seriously.
10 times better.
It's a good show still, but it's so much fun to make fun of.
Yeah, it's so much CW
Is there a lot
drama.
of cheese that I can make fun of during
Oh, yeah.
You could eat the cheese. Is how much cheese there is.
Spread it on my bread.
Yep. Because that's not what you do with butter. It's what you do with cheese is spread it on bread, right?
They make spreadable cheese.
They do?
Yeah. Have you ever heard of
Holy
Cheese
crap.
Whiz?
Hang on just a second. Oh my gosh.
I guess that was running.
Yes.
That was a running sound effect. Is
That
that what happens every time you run? You start running and it's like...
Have you never seen me run before?
And then he spins
No, I haven't. That's the thing.
He
I've never
spins
seen...
in a circle.
And suddenly I'm in geeky clothes. All right. And then they also announced who's going to be playing Ra's al Ghul.
Oh, is it going to be Liam Neeson?
No, he wanted to.
Oh.
He said if they would have asked him, he would have been Ra's al Ghul. And they probably went, we can't afford him.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, sweet. How much do you want? Okay, we'll talk to you later.
Right, see ya.
Less sweet.
But the gentleman that they got to play him is a man by the name of Matt Nable. And for those
Matt Nipple.
Matt Nipple. He is from Riddick. He's the other captain on the newest Riddick movie.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Yep. I know who that is.
But he seems, apparently he was a rugby player before he was an actor, but he's going to be your Ra's al Ghul. He looks okay.
Oh, that would have been more convincing if it said, instead of he was a rugby player, he was a crime lord before he was an actor. And that would have been like, yes, he can play Ra's al Ghul. Great.
It's like, yeah, I know this, guys.
I just need to see him with the silver hair on the side.
Yeah, let's see. The only pictures that we've got of Ra's al Ghul so far is him holding a sword and his fingers.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Were those in the show?
Those were in the trailer that we saw.
Oh, in the season 3 trailer. That's right.
Yeah. I love the caption. It says, and he will wear some pretty intense finger jewelry.
Yeah, that full
like
finger spike ring.
Yeah, he looks like James Hong from Big Trouble in Little China.
He looks like a bad Mandarin.
Yes, he does. Bad Mandarin. Bandarin.
Bad Mandarin. That should be a title. That should be one of our titles.
All right,
It's
well,
it's a
I'll write
bad
it
Mandarin.
down. Let's see, what else we got here? Oh, Scott, why don't you tell me about Mr. Bob Braytall?
You mean the Guinness record holder for the world's largest comic book collection?
Yes.
Yes. He just got it. He lives in California, and he has over 94,000 unique comic books. That's not just comic books in general, because there's lots of people that have that many.
With variant covers and everything.
I think they count variant covers
because they're unique.
Oh, okay.
But I'm talking like people that have, 3 or 4 copies of something because they like it or they want to preserve one and read the other.
Yeah, it's like I have a copy signed by Stan Lee, I have a copy signed by the artist, I have a copy signed by the writer, and I have a copy that's got jizz all over it.
Wow. Can we say that on the thing?
It's fine.
Am I going to have to edit
PG-13. We can do like one of those an episode.
Okay,
so.
we're done. Don't say anything else ever again.
You might want to make an edit mark just in case.
Just in case. Swim and edit.
Scribble,
right
scribble,
there.
scribble.
Scribble. Anyways, he's got over 94,000 of them.
How many comics do you have?
I'm only at 93,000. I almost had it.
Wow.
Not really. I'm probably at like 900.
You think only 900?
I'm trying to figure out. I'd have to go count.
Because
that'll be my goal for the next thing.
You should
count all my comic books.
Challenge.
Oh no!
How many comics do you have, Adam?
I have one now.
That I gave you from Comic-Con.
Hey, got to start somewhere.
You gotta start.
I'll
somewhere.
give you a
gets
run
one.
of comics tonight that you can be challenged to read.
Okay.
All right.
We got some really good ones. You can
like
try
New
to do.
52 Justice League or something like that.
Yeah,
You'll like it.
Yeah. But it's about. They said it weighs over like 16,000 pounds.
Wow.
Worth of comics. That's a lot of paper.
Yeah,
That's a lot of trees.
that is a lot of trees. That poor forest.
I wonder how
No, they're
much
going to a good
space
cause.
that takes up in his, like, he has a dedicated like library type room.
They showed a picture, and he's got a huge room. It's probably 20 by 20 on the room. It is just full of shelves, full of boxes, just packed full.
Holy cow.
If it were a Disney movie and he were to take me into that library full of comic books, I would marry that man.
You would be Beauty.
I
and
would
he'd
be
the
yeah,
Beast?
exactly. I'd be Beauty and he'd be the Beast.
Oh no, I think it's the other way around.
Oh,
Cory would be
oh.
the Beast,
But
he would be
he's
the
like,
Beauty.
here's like, hey, I'm the Beauty, but you can come stay at my place. You have comics? Let me marry you. No, I'm good. I'm okay.
Please. I said so. So it's over 16,000 pounds. The equivalent of 118 grown males.
Or 96
Or
comic nerds.
96 comic nerds. And we're included in that.
Yes.
So we're not just making fun of comic nerds.
Adam,
in general.
you're probably
I'm half
half a comic nerd.
half a comic nerd.
Yeah, probably about that.
That's why you don't have any comics.
Yeah. Yep.
Because don't you know that you eat comics too, just like you eat geek shirts?
Yeah.
You eat them to gain
So
their power.
the larger
gain
you
their power.
are, the more comics you've consumed.
Apparently. So
Yep.
Cory, have you consumed more comics than me?
We'll have to do a weigh-in and find out. I thought you were gonna go really rude there for a moment.
I don't know.
I had my
I'm
best
not the
scowl
I'm
on.
not the rudest one on this podcast.
I
You
know.
are for some reason.
I don't mean to be.
But congratulations on Bob Bretall or Bretall. I don't know, whatever you say your last name, on having the largest comic collection in the world.
How's
They
your
have a
wife
picture
feel
of
about
him
it?
too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a normal 50-year-old dude.
I can try and look it up while we're going to the next story.
That's okay. We'll do it later.
Alrighty. So next, back over to Warner Brothers. We're kind of jumping around because there's a lot of news that we just kind of threw in here and everything like
I
that.
don't think you're even halfway through yet.
Oh,
No. Oh,
Like I said, we got so much news. So much news.
we're probably not even going to have a topic this week thanks to that.
We already talked about it. It's Comic-Con.
yeah,
It was great.
alright.
Go to it.
Yeah.
Topic over.
Go to it next year.
So they say like your 10th podcast is one of the best, is like the best, and then your 11th is terrible, apparently.
Really?
So that's how ours is going.
This is going. Thanks, Adam.
Swimmingly.
Yeah.
Number 11, we ran out of topics to talk about.
Yep.
We're done.
Actually, no, we got plenty. We got plenty coming. We'll talk about that a little bit later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mean later in other podcasts?
Yeah, but I want to. You know what? We're gonna move on, and we'll talk about this later.
Yep.
So there is a rumor going around, Scott.
Which we have to clarify again and again and again. Rumors are fun, but they are still just rumors. So a lot of times we kind of try to avoid them for the most part. But they're still fun to kind of speculate.
But Warner Brothers has kind of looked at Guardians of the Galaxy, which is doing great, and we'll talk about that in a bit.
doing
I have that
fantastic.
written down.
Which has been mentioned in the last How many podcasts?
Last every podcast.
Yes, ever since it came out.
No, yeah, I think in even number 1, I was like, "Oh, Guardians is coming out in a couple months. I'm excited for that."
Yeah.
And then, like, as it creeps closer and closer, Scott just starts going, Guardians.
Yeah. And now I'm starting to wind down until it comes out on DVD, and then I'll watch it 10 times.
yeah.
Used his imagination.
So they go, what do we have that's a space property comic book movie? Oh, Legion of Superheroes? Let's start a movie about that. So they've sent out they've sent out a call for scripts and options and everything.
To writers and screenplay.
To get a Legion of Superhero movie, which your Legion of Superheroes is kind of your D-list heroes for the most part.
Well,
there's a couple in there that are good.
They're actually technically A-list, but in their time frame.
Yeah.
Because they're in the future. They're thousands of years into the future.
That's true.
And they're the only superheroes around. And so, they're the A-listers. But as far as like the properties for DC, yeah, they're probably B or C.
Yeah. I mean, they have Bouncing Boy as one of their members.
Bouncing Boy.
Yes. Who drank a bottle of plastic formula all the way, even though he realized halfway through that it was plastic formula. He just kept drinking it. And can now inflate himself and bounce around.
He's a bouncing baby boy.
Exactly.
You've always wanted.
Yeah, so he literally just blows up into a ball and bounces around and beats people up by bouncing on him really hard.
There's another one called Matter Eater Lad.
Matter Eater Lad?
Yep, he can just eat anything.
Yeah, his stomach is a black hole.
Yep.
So he can take something and swallow it, and it just like crumbles into nothing.
How does he
not
have
collapse
energy?
on himself? Black holes emit enormous amounts of energy.
Okay, well, I don't
think he's got a literal black hole, like a swirling mass in there.
I mean, like you eat something and you feel full, and you're like, that's gonna last me for a while. And you can go do some heavy lifting.
I got an answer for you.
Okay,
that is his curse and his responsibility, or his
I
call
have
or
to
whatever.
not eat everything.
I'm always hungry.
He's like Galactus.
All right.
Matter Eater Lad is Galactus.
No, he's not. Next,
okay.
Let's go past the Legion of Superheroes. It's only a rumor.
Alrighty. Back. Oh my gosh, so back and forth. Back to Warner Brothers TV news. The Flash has a new cast member revealed. Prison Break star Dominic Purcell.
Yep.
Okay, is going to be playing Heatwave, which is another of the rogues from the Flash comic.
And who's Heatwave?
He's one of the rogues.
Okay, but who is he?
He's one of the rogues.
So the Flash has this group of villains that get together called the Rogues Gallery, I believe is what they.
Well, a Rogues Gallery is just a group of.
So they just call themselves the Rogues, but it includes people like Weather Wizard and the Trickster. All of these kind of like C-list, B-list. Captain Cold is one of them, and they're all kind of B-list supervillains, but they all get together and they're more formidable against the Flash.
Like Sinister Six for Spider-Man.
Oh, okay.
Or the Sinister Six.
The Legion of Doom for the Legion or for Justice League. Now,
so these are all the supervillains for the Flash.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And they actually call themselves the Rogues when they all get together as a group.
And now Heatwave is a pyromaniac. He used to just have like flamethrowers or whatever, but the direction that they went in the new 52 comics and the way that they're going with the TV show, most likely, he actually has like flame powers. And he's kind of a hothead and kind of a jerk. So
no pun intended with the hothead.
No.
There's a great pun in there. Yeah. And Dominic Purcell on Prison Break was the brother that was in jail that the other brother decided to go break out.
The big
I've never seen Prison Break.
It's really good.
I haven't
season
really watched
1.
either.
Season 2 is not worth it. Season 3 is definitely not worth it. Okay. Season 1 was really good.
Hey, Scott.
Yeah.
How would you like a Supergirl TV show?
I would love it.
Well, they're developing one.
Yay!
That's all we know right now.
Woo! I hope that they get Laura Vandervoot, who played Supergirl in Smallville. She plays a really good.
Smallville's not the best show, but they did do some good casting in there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Although Tom Welling as Superman. A lot of people liked him, but then he kind of turned around and was a dick to everyone and was like, nope, I'm not going to play Superman on the big screen. I'm tired of it.
But Michael Rosenbaum was like, I'll play Lex Luthor.
Oh, yeah. He even and Michael Rosenbaum even said he'd play the Flash. He'd be totally cool with playing the Flash.
Which I would be totally cool with Michael Rosenbaum playing the Flash. That would be like the ultimate fanboy dream, is to see a voice actor of the Flash transfer over to playing the live action version of the Flash.
You mean like the voice actor of Hal Jordan transferring over to play Hal Jordan?
Yeah, but
Malcolm Reynolds.
But the dream also includes somebody who looks the part.
He does.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
He is dumpy. Here's another. Adam, do you think that Nathan Fillion could play a good Green Lantern? That Green Lantern on the wall there. No. In his current state.
Not in his current. Don't even talk about current state.
What do you mean?
Mr. Oh, she's got time to bulk up. He has time to bulk up or slim down or whatever.
He's too old.
Oh, no, he's not.
He's getting too old and too...
You know they have plastic surgery, right? And Hollywood is rampant with it.
Rampant. Botox. Exactly. So, you know what? Agree to disagree once again.
All right. And Adam's an impartial. He's like,
yeah,
kind of, maybe. I don't know.
I can go either way.
So there's a Supergirl TV series coming.
Yay.
It might not be on the CW. They didn't...
if it is...
They didn't specify.
If it's on the CW, at least we know Supergirl will be very pretty because it's CW. Everybody's pretty on there. Doesn't matter if they're supposed to be ugly; they're pretty.
You could. That is probably they probably take people like the Fountain of Beauty and dip them in there. It's like, oh, you're going to be on our TV show, and then they pull out, and oh my gosh, my face is so beautiful now. Put me on a CW TV show.
Yeah.
You're hired.
Yeah, thank you. Also, kind of TV to DC movie news. Stephen Amell says, "Hey,
Arrow." Stephen Amell from Arrow. He is Arrow.
He is Arrow. He says, "Hey, Hawkeye can be in the Avengers. Why can't Arrow be in the Justice League?"
And he said he would want to be the one that played him.
Which is like, yeah, that would be cool. I don't want Arrow in my Justice League.
I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with him being like a second generation Justice Leaguer, but not like primary Justice Leaguer.
Yeah, or have his TV show be a tie-in to the movie.
Because I'm sorry, even though Arrow is super popular right now, Green Arrow is super popular right now, he's still a B-list superhero.
I think he's more popular than Hawkeye, though.
Yeah, but he's still a B-list superhero. Hawkeye's in the Avengers because they needed a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent.
They needed someone cheap, basically.
Yeah, they needed someone
cheap. They already
cheap.
they had Mark Ruffalo, they had Chris Hemsworth, they had Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, and so they have all these like fairly expensive actors
that take up most of your movie budget.
Scarlett Johansson as well.
Yeah,
and then they're like, we just need someone cheap. Who's cheap? That's not very popular. Hawkeye, sure.
Have you seen Captain America: Winter Soldier yet?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because it is out. I think we should watch that after this podcast, though.
I agree.
I think instead of the plan that we were going to have, because
you know what? Let's just end the podcast now.
Okay. See you guys later. Keep geeking out.
Bye.
Oh, you got to think of a tag out line
you
tonight.
have to think of a tag off line. So think about that. You have until the end of the show, and we will throw that at you randomly.
Yes. And then the last. I think this is the last bit of DC news I have. I'm not sure.
We'll see.
Yeah. Emmett Scanlan, who was one of the lead riot guards in Guardians of the Galaxy. He's kind of a bit player, but he's going to be playing a character on Constantine called Jim Corrigan.
Yay, the Spectre!
The Spectre.
I love the Spectre.
Yep.
Le Spectre.
The Spectre, if you're not familiar with him. So we don't have to even talk to the audience. We can just talk to Adam.
Yeah,
Adam,
exactly.
since you're not familiar.
Adam's
pretty much our audience.
Yeah, I think actually he is the audience.
And there's someone else that sent emails.
Yeah, that's true.
I just post things onto your page every
That's
once in a while.
true. Yeah, we haven't gotten an email question from you
sorry.
yet. Think of that by the end of the thing too.
Yeah, so much homework.
The Spectre is the vengeance of God.
Like, yeah, he's not joking with you there. He's literally the vengeance of God given to a human.
The spirit of vengeance
Yep.
is what his other name is.
Kind of the Ghost Rider of the DC universe.
Yeah, he goes out and does God's will from the DC universe. And
so instead of Ghost Rider, from hell, it's vengeance from God.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, for those of you who aren't familiar with God in the DC universe, God is a schnauzer.
That's what he's a white schnauzer and that's how he appears to people.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that's how he follows people around.
And the devil is a Doberman Pincer, a black Doberman Pincer.
Okay.
So they're like dogs, which I think is really cool.
All dogs go to heaven.
All dogs go to
heaven. For Dobermans?
Yep. Dobermans are evil.
It's the pointy ears.
Which DC has a really weird afterlife system.
I enjoy their afterlife system
because they don't just have okay, we've got one heaven for everybody. It's okay, we've got the Christian heaven, we've got the Greek heaven,
the Buddhist heaven. And they're all like linked together, but they're all separate.
Yeah.
And so when people die and their spirits in the comics go to heaven or whatever, they go to their own heaven until they can be integrated into like the general population, basically.
Yeah.
Until their spirit is not freaking out as much, you know, like that they're dead.
Yeah.
And so like when you see, John Constantine or the Spectre or the Phantom Stranger is another really big, powerful.
The Phantom Stranger.
That's a weird name. The Phantom Stranger.
He's gonna love this. The Phantom Stranger is Judas
from the
Iscariot.
Oh, really?
Yep. And
Nice.
he's been cursed.
His curse for
betraying
was wearing the 30 pieces of silver around his neck, and he has to live the whole until he gets those paid off, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah,
like every now and then he does a good deed, and one of the pieces of
silver drops.
Pieces of silver will drop. 8 pieces of 8. That's pirates.
But it's pretty cool the way that they do it.
Neat backstory.
We'll have to discuss it. We'll have to discuss it more.
I thoroughly enjoy that side of DC Comics.
Yeah,
so.
it's actually really fun.
Mm-hmm. So and it makes the Phantom Stranger a huge like brooding character too, because he's like
Stranger.
Well, they call him the Phantom Stranger. I mean, the Phantom part because he's a spirit, basically.
Yeah.
But the Stranger part is because part of his curse is no one knows who he is, and no one really ever gets to know him and can't. That's part of his curse, and so he can't live out multiple lifetimes, as some random person that he decides to become.
Yeah.
He just has to like wander around forever and never, and no one's
forever homeless man.
Pretty much.
Exactly. He's like Cain in the Bible too, actually.
Yeah.
In that
another kind of another parallel to that for sure. But Jim Corrigan, the Spectre, he's the spirit of vengeance, and he goes about, doing good stuff.
Basically he finds murderers and murders them in creative ways.
In creative ways?
Yes. Like the way that they murdered the other people or like something similar. I think he does one time where this girl got murdered and she really liked dolls, so she turned this person like a doll or something like that. There's some cool Spectre cartoons. Yeah, kind of like Chucky. There's some cool Spectre cartoons from the DC Nation out there that you can check out, and I think you'd enjoy the Spectre. I think you'd enjoy that whole block of the DC universe. So
I'll have to.
It's really fun to see when the characters talk to DC Universe's version of God or version of the devil, and then you see all these speech bubbles, and you're like, where's this coming from? Is it coming from the clouds or from the sun or something? And then it like kind of zooms out on the next panel, and it's it's a schnauzer, and he's just like walking along next to him, chatting with him, and it's like, and he always is like. Someone will say something like, I don't believe this is stupid. And he's like, don't talk to me like that, boy. And he's a dog. And I'm like, that's great. That's great.
Hold on, fire hydrant.
So
I'm blessing it.
Holy water.
Oh man.
That's what comes out.
Yep.
It's not urine, it's holy water.
So Scott, I lied. There's plenty more DC news to get through. First of which,
that's okay with me. You have to apologize to our listeners.
Yeah. For those of you who are waiting for all the other news, you're not going to get it. It's all DC today.
Yeah, there's actually not that much Marvel. There's a little bit.
There's a little bit of Marvel. There's some video game stuff that we'll talk about.
Mostly DC, mainly because the DC TV universe is becoming huge.
Yeah. I think
way bigger than Marvel, obviously, so far.
Yep. So it's becoming huge, and they're spinning off into other networks.
Yep.
For example, TNT is talking about picking up a Teen Titans TV show.
Now, actual teens are like 18.
So it'll be live action, but I bet you it'll be like 18, which is still kind of teenagers.
19.
Yeah, so they can be all It'll be Jersey Shore superhero style.
No.
As long as they don't pick up the
You go wash
Snooki
your mouth out.
to play. As long as Snooki's
Snooki
not
Starfire.
No.
Because she's orange skinned
No.
already.
Jeez.
excellent.
Yes.
That was excellent.
So,
No, but do you think Snooki could grow up to be the Starfire, adult Starfire?
no. She'd just be a very small, stupid Starfire.
well, and okay, so for Teen Titans,
I liked the cartoon Teen Titans.
I was just gonna say,
not the new one, not
Not
Teen
the new-
Titans Go, which
not
is
the new
stupid.
one.
But
the older one, like I don't know, 5 plus years ago.
it was kind of an American anime that worked
Yeah.
really well.
Yeah.
and that's where most people know the Teen Titans from.
Yep.
When in fact they're actually quite a bit more adult in the comics.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know they still call them Teen Titans, but they're 18, 19, you know, and
They're just the whatever all the other heroes see as the kids of the group.
yeah,
Yeah.
even though they're technically adults. So
Which, if they do Teen Titans, they need to break away from the classic Beast Boy, or Starfire, Raven, Cyborg, Robin. They have They could do Nightwing. Nightwing would be cool. Starfire would be okay still.
But Kid Flash needs to be in it.
Kid Flash. Kind of go Young Justice with it. Superboy, Wonder Girl. You know, get Miss Martian in there.
variety.
Yeah, get some other characters so that it's not. So that these kids who are 14 aren't going, I want to watch Teen Titans on TNT because I love the cartoon. And then they see it and their moms get mad at them because they're seeing stuff they shouldn't be.
Mickey Mouse watches Teen
Oh!
Titans. That's kind of what you
Yeah.
sounded like.
Yep. Yeah, Disney secretly watches every other cartoon and just loves it.
So
It's
are
so
they-
much better than ours.
So the Teen
Especially
Titans,
DC.
Do they have like their own like Justice League of teens?
Yeah.
Separate from the Justice League.
Yep. Their own superhero team is the Teen Titans, and it encompasses probably about 40 or 50 members.
Okay.
Not all at
Do
once.
they
All at once,
do,
yeah.
do any of them ever graduate into the Justice
Yes.
Yep.
League?
They do. In fact, we're reading the Future End series of the New 52 that's coming out,
Yep.
and Green Arrow gets killed
In the
it,
first issue.
and they replace him with Red Arrow.
Seems like
Speedy,
an obvious
Oh,
choice.
okay.
You know, so they pick him out. You know,
Like,
and-
we need another arrow guy.
So this is like the superhero university down here,
Yeah.
and then you got
you
your
ever-
master's degree.
Yeah, have you ever seen Young Justice?
No, you guys have talked about it a lot, and James has talked about it a lot.
Young Justice is a really good TV show that does about the same thing where
you have
instead
Netflix,
of being
right,
I don't.
No, he doesn't anymore.
Well,
He said
you
he
need
doesn't.
to.
Yeah, you need to get Netflix
because it's
back.
fantastic.
Okay.
Okay,
But they were talking about
that is
like,
a command. A command from the Brothers Geek. Get Netflix.
we have spoken
I've been smote with the hammer.
Yep.
with dog holy water.
Yeah, with the.
But
Wait a second. Is he a dog because dog spelled backwards?
oh my gosh, is that really if that's really like their only reasoning behind it? It's like, what should we make God? God spelled backwards is dog. Let's make him a dog. What about the devil?
Livid.
He's livid.
Livid. He lived somewhere.
Yep, he lived as a Doberman. There
Yeah,
we go.
there
That
we go.
works. I really hope that wasn't the motivation behind it. No, that's that kind of.
Why? I think that's awesome, actually. That's hilarious.
But Young Justice is kind of the Teen Titans. They renamed them Young Justice, and it's all of the sidekicks. And eventually, they do graduate and become part of the Justice League. Like when they hire new members, they get like Nightwing gets on as part of the Justice League. Zatanna gets on as part of the Justice League.
Yep.
She starts off as a kid.
It's like, all right, guys, we're no longer on the hiring freeze. We can get some more superheroes up here.
You know, we have room for 3 to 4 new superheroes, and they're all like standing outside Home Depot, raising their arms, like, "Oh, pick me, pick me!"
With their,
Oh, wow.
they bring their
Wow.
resume.
I see. You're the racist.
I know, but that was so funny. I couldn't resist.
Okay.
Yeah, I see. It says in your resume that you've beaten Mr. Freeze 3 times. Yeah, that actually, you know what? It's supposed to be 4. We just faced him again. Oh, well, okay then.
Well, he's obviously come back 4 times, so you haven't
done a good enough job.
Yeah. So that's cool. Teen Titans on TNT.
Yeah.
Hopefully that takes off and is good.
Yeah.
We'll have to watch that as well.
So the other bit of news is that The Rock has finally announced who he's going to be playing in Shazam.
And let me guess, it's Black Adam.
It's Black Adam.
There's that's exactly what he looks like.
There's no doubt in our minds.
Yeah, I've seen some of the concept art and things like that, and I'm like, yeah, I think it'll be fine.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah, you look like a Black Adam.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that's great. Congratulations, The Rock. We're excited.
Yeah.
And I hopefully he'll play a very good part.
I think he will. I think he does really good.
He's like one of the most annoying people to fight on the Justice League Gods Among Us game on my phone.
Yeah.
I'm just like, no, I have to go against Black Adam.
Here we go again.
He has a really great part in the series 52 from DC Comics, where they did a comic a week, 52 of them for the whole year.
Yeah.
And it was countdown from 52 to 1, and it was like right before some major event. And he plays a huge part in it. He basically declares war on the whole world.
Yep, which leads into World War III comic series where it's him versus every other superhero.
And he just
besides the big 3.
And he just wrecks them because he's basically Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Superman is gone off planet doing something.
No, he lost his powers.
Oh, he did. That's right.
Yeah.
And Wonder Woman's somewhere, so she can't stand up. You know, so it's pretty much everyone but the
Batman's
big 3:
dead.
Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. They're all gone, and no one can really challenge him.
Yeah.
Does he have a kryptonite?
His command word.
If you can get him to say his command word,
he'll turn into an old man.
Yeah.
And then
What?
yeah. So
no, not just an old man, like a 900-year-old man, and he would die.
Yeah.
So he never says it.
Well, in some versions,
Does he know? He knows his command word.
Oh yeah.
it's Shazam.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like all the others.
Oh.
Yeah. So
That'd
he
be
shouts
an easy word
Shazam.
to not say.
Yeah, exactly. But
well, he does say it actually. Like he'll grab one of them and hold the hero against his chest or whatever, and say Shazam, and the lightning bolt will go to hit him, but it'll actually hit the hero instead.
Yeah.
and hurt him.
Yeah.
Oh.
So the lightning has to hit him too.
Yeah.
So they eventually stop him by he does say his command word and they get him to hit the lightning or whatever, and then
Captain Marvel.
Shazam.
Captain Marvel.
Yeah. Well, no, but the original Shazam, the old Shazam, comes up and changes his command word, so he doesn't know what his command word is anymore. So he has to, like, he's an old man now and he's trying to figure, like, he just keeps walking around the earth mumbling different words trying to get his command
He
word.
just pulls out a dictionary and
Aardvark.
Cool.
That was easy.
Anyway, Aardvark.
AARDVARK or whatever. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't think I've ever had to spell the word Aardvark before.
It was an old Arthur episode back when I was young,
Of course.
where he was trying to memorize every word in the dictionary for a spelling bee, and he did it by singing that word over and over again. But it's the only one that he ended up, because he procrastinated or whatever. He learned a lesson in the end, but whatever.
I remember that.
Let's just move on.
Yes, let's.
So the Harvey Awards happened.
Yes. What are the Harvey Awards, Cory?
The Harvey Awards are it's like the greatest comic creators, and they give out awards for the best artist, best writer. They do a lot of stuff for web comics as well as stuff for traditional comics.
So it's basically like the Emmys or the Grammys of comic
or
books.
the Oscars, But among their winners this year are 2 comics that we have read, and one of which that has been recommended on the podcast before. Saga won, I think, best writer.
I think so. Yeah, Brian K. Vaughan.
And then I think Sex Criminals won like best new story.
Best new story or best. So Saga is a mix between science and fantasy. I mean, think about this: a rocket ship made out of a tree.
Yeah.
I mean, like I tell people that, and they're like, "That's weird." And then they actually sit down and read the first issue or the first volume, and they're like, "Holy crap, this is really good."
Yep.
It's really good. It's 2 races that are in like perpetual war, and these 2 people, they find out they fall in love.
Yeah.
Because he's a prisoner and she's the guard, and they end up talking, and they fall in love, and then they end up escaping and leaving
with the baby
together with the baby because she's pregnant, and it's like the first time these two races have ever had a baby together.
Yeah,
you know,
so they're not sure what it's gonna look like.
No, they know. I mean, the baby is born.
Oh, okay. I don't think I've gotten that far.
It's in the first panel. It's like the first page of the book.
Oh, that's right. I was thinking like the first volume was her pregnant.
No, but anyways, and so it's really good. And Brian K. Vaughan wrote "Why the Last Man," if you've ever heard of that. It's
I haven't heard of that one.
All the male species on the planet die except for this one guy and his his pet monkey that he's training.
Yeah. And they're the only males left.
Yeah, and it's not what you think. It's not like a go around the nation.
Time to repopulate.
Yeah, and no, he's trying to make it to his girlfriend. And that's the only girl he wants to be with.
Yeah,
and there's all these different nations of women that want him because they're starting to die off.
Yeah.
Like population just going down, not going back up, and so they're after him, and it's all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yep.
And he does.
Wait, what happened to all the sperm banks on the world?
Gone. It was like a disease that just killed everything.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There was no
except for the females.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then there were a couple males up in the space station, but they hit Earth and burned up in Atmo. Mm-hmm. Except for one girl survived, and she was pregnant with a boy.
Yeah. I mean, it's a really cool premise.
Yeah, it's a really cool comic. It's going to be a good TV series or movie or whenever they.
It's supposed to be like a five movie series.
Yeah,
because there's quite a few comics, about 10 volumes. Uh-huh. It's really good. But he wrote Saga. This is like his. He also wrote Ex Machina. I haven't read that one yet, but I've heard it's really good.
Yeah, I've heard of that one too.
But Saga is his next
one. I've heard of that one.
Yeah,
I've heard the name before.
Yeah.
Have you really, or have you just heard the phrase "ex machina" before?
I have heard of it before.
Alrighty.
Yeah. So he's written both of those. And he's really good.
Yeah, and then Sex Criminals, and Saga is an adult comic, obviously, or well, not obviously, but Sex Criminals is obviously an adult comic because the premise behind it is there is this girl, and when she reaches climax, time freezes for like half an hour.
Yeah.
So she
finds out she can do this.
Yeah.
Oh, so she's always going to reach climax, and then she goes like robs a bank or something.
That's
pretty much it. Because she finds a guy who does the same thing.
Yeah.
And she didn't realize that like they're sitting there.
What if they don't climax at the same time?
It just doesn't affect the other one.
Yeah.
That's the premise.
It's like whoever climaxes first, it's a race.
It's like I'm gonna freeze you. I'm gonna freeze you.
It got the award for like best new idea for a series, and I've actually read it. It's actually really good. It's actually really good.
It's an impressive premise, and one that you're kind of like you read it on paper and you're like, that doesn't sound like a comic that can hold much water, but it's really fun, and I thoroughly enjoy it when I read it. So.
And then the other one that won award that I know of is called The Fifth Beatle, and it's basically a graphic novel from the viewpoint of the manager of the Beatles. Yeah, exactly. I'm not too interested in it either. I kind of looked it up and I was like, really? Okay.
All right. Cool. Have fun with that. Speaking of books that have been coming out, Scott.
Yes.
George R. R. Martin has announced that he is going to be coming out with a book in October.
Yay, the next Song of Ice and Fire. Woo! Before he dies and eats himself to death.
No, it's not. Actually, it's called The World of Ice and Fire, and it's like a history book of.
So it's like the Silmarillion.
Yeah, pretty much. It'll be his way. Like, hey, people who don't want to read through the books but have been watching the TV show, here's a history book for you. It's a small pamphlet. Enjoy.
I guess that wouldn't be like the Silmarillion. The Silmarillion's pretty in-depth.
That's true. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff, though, that is kind of mentioned in Game of Thrones in novel and TV form that you're kind of like, I want to know more about that.
So it's like the history of the world of Game of Thrones.
The history of the world of Game of Thrones.
Yep.
That is just fun.
What was that?
Working in layers.
It's like that other title that we thought was really complicated.
Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Yep.
Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
It's just like, no.
Well, I have a feeling that George R. R. Martin got about halfway through his next book, his actual Song of Ice and Fire book, got stuck and has no idea how to finish it.
I think
he's
he is.
I just don't know who I want to let live.
I think he has complete.
Probably nobody.
Yeah, that's true.
I think he has make new characters.
Yes.
I think he has complete writer's block.
That,
and he just has no idea
he's like,
on how to finish it. And that's why he keeps like he plays like, oh, I'm not gonna finish it because everyone's complaining about it. Ha ha ha. And then under his breath he's like, I can't figure out what to do.
Somebody help me.
Yeah.
By the way, I forgot to
Winter's
write
come and
yesterday.
gone.
Oh,
Well, I'm gonna write 2,000 words tonight and make up for it.
Kind of odd. I don't know if you maybe should explain that a little bit.
Yeah, I will. I was going to use that as my lead-in. So for those of you who don't follow me on Facebook, because I haven't posted on the Acts yet, I have been from like September 9th or 8th when I started. I have been writing 1,000 words a night for a month. And it's going good so far. It's really kind of freeing just to sit there and write 1,000 words, writing whatever you want about. If you want to join me, I would absolutely love the company of people saying like, hey, I'm writing too, you know, it's going really cool for me. And every Friday I'm going to be posting up a kind of a topic for people to write about. The topic for last week was aliens. So you had to write at least 1,000 words about an alien.
Alien race.
No, it was just aliens.
No, you said alien race.
I said alien race. Oh,
yeah.
Which you took as a race between a bunch of different aliens.
Hey, and I say that's okay.
Yeah, no, it's great.
Or just a race that is alien to us. And that's what I haven't written it down, but I was going to explain the whole thing to you afterward.
Yeah, okay.
So there's Cory's hijacking the podcast to pump his 1,000 words a day.
Check out my Gulu website too, guys.
Yeah, seriously. Gulu. I mean Hulu. Whatever. We're bringing TV to Africans.
Yeah.
That's what she was doing.
Pretty much.
That's what Eliza Dushku was doing.
You guys haven't seen me in Buffy? Oh no, we need to change this.
Here, have a copy of Buffy. This is my charity.
We don't have a TV.
Well, I've already donated enough.
Just save up for one. It's okay.
So let's move on to Marvel.
You don't need to eat every week.
No, you don't need to eat every week.
No,
that's
you need to eat every day.
That just tells you what. That's just something the man wants you to do.
Yeah.
The man who is McDonald's. So we're gonna move on to Marvel a bit now, and we're gonna start out with kind of I would say kind of a somber, sad note. Not really like too cool or anything, but Robert Downey Jr. says that he has no plans to play Iron Man 4 at this time.
Yeah,
kind of expected.
Yeah,
I remember hearing that back like right when Iron Man 3 came out. Like he was gonna do the Avengers movies, but then he's like, I'm not going to do any more of the Iron Man.
Yeah, and he didn't so much say, you know, I'm not going to play the character again, so much as he said there's no plans in the work. They haven't talked to me about anything like that.
I think they're scared.
Well, they don't want to
beat a dead horse.
They don't want to back that money truck up.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
To be honest, Robert Downey Jr. came out and said, you know, here's how much I'm making. And it kind of caused this huge hubbub, because he's making $50 million a movie.
Yeah,
which is, you know, more than most actors get paid for a series of movies.
Yeah.
So
well, and there's that whole Actors Guild that they say if you've already done so many movies as one character, you're typecast as that character, and so that after 3 movies, you know, we're requiring everyone to pay more, you know, so that they can do the next movie and the next movie and the next movie. But you know, I don't know. I have a problem, and maybe it's just because I'm not in the I guess I'm not in the acting community.
Yeah.
I have a problem with that. I love comic stuff, and if they came to me and they're like, we want you to play this comic book character indefinitely, I'd be like, yes.
Yeah.
I don't care if it typecasts me. That's great.
I don't care if it's terrible after the second movie.
Yeah, and so I don't know.
I think it would be totally fun to be typecast, and that's your character. That's what you're known for. And then just, you know, play it out until it's dead or whatever.
And then you can
move on. Yeah. And I don't think there would be an issue with moving on. Some people would still see you as such and such character, but there's been actors that have been typecast and then they've gone on and done other things and they've done a great job.
Yeah. And there have been plenty that have been typecast and haven't done on to do a good job. But that's because,
I think, to be honest, shows a poor movie to act in.
And it kind of shows poor actors.
Yeah.
Because these people are like, oh, I got typecast. How woe is me? It's like, yeah, but, you're kind of, that's all you play.
Like Johnny Depp memes. Like, I was told I could be anything, and so I did.
And I was a policeman and a pirate
and a barber and a this and a this. Yeah, Johnny Depp's a perfect example. I mean, he can play. He's played everything in all these different movies.
They backed that money truck up for Jack Sparrow. That's for sure. Yeah, that's the fourth. He's been in 4 movies.
And you know what? He can play all those different types great.
Yeah. And you know what it's done is everybody goes, oh, Johnny Depp's going to be in that movie? I love him as Jack Sparrow. I'll go see this movie. And then Transcendence isn't as good as everybody thought it was.
Yeah. I have to watch that.
Yeah.
I think it was.
But then there's other actresses or actors or actresses like Neve Campbell is a prime example where she's been in Scream 1, 2, and 3. And she's like, oh, I got typecast, blah, blah, blah. But, it's like they didn't ask you to do Scream 4 until 10 years later when you're older and you haven't done anything for years because you're not that good of an actress outside of being a Scream queen.
Yeah. I mean, and that's their problem, I guess, really.
Yeah.
I'm going to go see who I like to see, and I would go watch Iron Man 7, 8, as long as they... The problem with Iron Man 2 is he doesn't have that big of a villains gallery.
No, he doesn't.
Pretty much Iron Man has one or two villains that he fights all the time, and then everything else he does through the Avengers.
Yeah.
So maybe not having an Iron Man 4 is a good thing.
Yeah.
Maybe having Iron Man just be mainly the founder of the Avengers.
Yeah. And I think, like the funding force behind that. And then from there it'll be like, oh, yeah, Robert, do you mind if you just come do a cameo of you being Tony Stark for Avengers 4 with this whole new Avengers team, and you're just kind of like the Nick Fury of that Avengers team? That would be really cool.
Yeah, or maybe do an Iron Man 4, but have it be
another person.
Rhodey picks up and he's the Iron Patriot. He's budget Iron Man,
or somebody better.
Or
budget
Arno Stark.
Arno Stark, his brother.
Yep, his long lost brother, who everybody thinks is dead but really isn't. But don't tell Captain America or anybody like that.
True.
Yeah, you're like,
Adam's got this puzzled look on his face, like, I don't know what the heck you guys are talking about.
My long lost brother.
Yeah, apparently Tony Stark has a brother called Arno Stark, and they thought he was dead, but turns out he's still alive, and he works with Tony at like one of his secret utopia cities.
Yeah, Tony creates a whole technological city.
Yeah,
I want to see it.
We'll show you comics.
Yeah.
So Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 2.
Great show. Watch it.
Coming.
Watch it. I tell everyone to watch it, and they're like, I watched the first episode, didn't like it. Well, that's because the first few episodes not very good.
Yeah,
episode 8 or 9 picked up, and it got fantastic after.
I love how you're like, you have to get through 7 episodes. But it's really all just set up for the second half of the season, which worked really well. But
have you watched
season
that?
2?
I haven't. I saw 1 or 2 episodes, like the first and second episode,
and it didn't really catch you, right?
No.
So you're gonna have to sit down and power through about episode 6, 7, 8, and then you'll get hooked.
Scribble.
It's great. Exactly.
That's the name of the episode.
Scribble. Scribble, podcast stuff. Scribble.
Yep.
Homework.
But season 2 is going to have 2 guest stars in it. The first one is Haley Atwell as Peggy Carter.
Yay! From the movie.
Which is the first agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., basically.
The founder of S.H.I.E.L.D.
And she's going to have her own miniseries later on, but I'm sure they're going to have like a flashback with her talking about this kind of stuff, or a flashback of her going on a mission, and then it turns out that mission has something to do with... Oh my gosh, I just ruined my own plot for the second season, because it's going to be, they're going to cut halfway through with Peggy Carter, and then it's going to turn out that has everything to do with the entire season. Oh my, why did I do that to myself? But then the other person that they are going to bring on is the Good Morning America host.
Okay.
It's kind of like let's see, what is it here? That guy.
Exactly. I mean, it's not even like someone important. George Stephanopoulos.
Yeah.
What?
He's probably going to be on there.
Playing as himself.
Yeah, he's probably going to be on there like,
as a talk show host.
Yeah, today our top story is the destruction of S.H.I.E.L.D. and is it good for people? Is it bad for people? You know, like S.H.I.E.L.D., what was it good for? Yeah.
Absolutely nothing. Wow.
It's not an Adam episode without Adam singing.
That's okay. I mean, we zombie sung this earlier.
That's true.
Don't start again.
I resisted until just barely. So
Good. I think it kind of crept up on you, and you're like halfway through, and you're like, I better just commit.
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy, Scott.
All right.
Now we're getting to the good stuff.
Finally, something I care about. No, I'm just kidding.
Global. Okay. My misspellings are Adam's entertainment for the evening. Global instead of global.
It's Gobally.
But they've outpaced Man of Steel in the domestic box office.
Sad, but awesome.
Yep.
Sad because I love Superman and I want to see his franchise succeed.
Mm-hmm.
But I love Guardians of the Galaxy,
and you're happy that they're succeeding.
And I'm glad that they're succeeding.
Yep. So they have they have broken at this point, I believe, the $300 million mark domestically, and they have broken $600 million globally.
Awesome.
Which is really interesting to see that it's kind of equal global as it is domestic. You know, it's not, because usually you're like, oh, it made $150 million in the States, but it made $8.5 million overseas, or $1 billion because China loves Transformers.
Lucy. Lucy didn't do good here.
Nope.
Did fantastic overseas.
Well, and Lucy's the one that I've been wanting to see recently because the trailers looked really good.
Yeah. The trailers did look really good.
Yeah, the trailers looked really good.
Yeah.
The rest of the movie was
okay.
so.
Very, very thinky.
Yeah.
You are not caught up on all of our podcasts, are you?
No, you did talk about that one last time.
No,
2 times ago.
Yeah, sometime.
I did.
We don't remember.
Transformers
I was
4.
disappointed when you.
Transformers 4 did okay here. I think it did.
It did fine.
200 million or something domestically, but it's garnered over $1.3 billion worldwide.
It's gross.
It's gross.
That is gross.
Yeah, that is gross money.
Yeah, not net.
Yeah,
gross.
that's not net.
Yeah, and I'm glad that Guardians is doing so good. James Gunn
too
came out on Facebook or something, and he said, if I had a nickel for every time someone told me that a movie with a talking raccoon is not going to do well, he said, I would probably have as much money as it has made so far.
Which I'm sure he would love to have that much money.
Yeah, definitely.
So next time someone tells you you've got a bad idea, say, well, give me a nickel first.
What is the only other movie that you guys can think of with a talking raccoon in it?
Pocahontas?
No, it's an Eddie Murphy movie.
Oh, Dr. Dolittle?
Yep. And it didn't do great at all.
Oh, he's right, though. Over the Hedge does have a talking raccoon.
But that's a cartoon.
I was talking about more live action.
Oh, okay.
But there you go. Like
your options, I am a talking raccoon fan. My options are Dr. Dolittle or Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yay!
So there was a cameo that was supposed to happen for Stan Lee that didn't happen, and they had to change it.
So it was regular cameo.
Yeah.
Have you seen Guardians yet, Adam?
Yes.
Okay, good. So his original cameo wasn't going to be him just as a ladies' man, whatever. Which I liked his cameo. It was nice and quick.
I think that was fun. Yeah.
Yeah, it was nice and quick at the beginning. Got it out of the way, so you weren't like halfway through the movie and like I'm totally sucked into this movie, and there's Stan Lee.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
But his original cameo, he was supposed to be in the collector's collection, which would have been really funny to have Stan Lee in your collection.
So they played him his regular cameo that he's in now. He is a Xandarian, and he's a ladies' man, and you only know who he is because you know who Xandarian is.
Exactly.
You know, or who Stan Lee is. Well, the whole collection thing was supposed to be kind of a jab to be like, the Collector went to Earth and got one of their most famous, creators of comics. Ha 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 ha! Funny inside joke.
Meta. The problem is the reason why Disney said no, you can't do that is because Stanley was supposed to flip off the camera,
or flip off the actors.
The actors as they walked by, which he's flipped off things before. There's pictures out there of him flipping off the camera and everything like that.
Star-Lord did it,
and that's exactly the reason why I think they didn't have it again.
Because it would have been overplayed.
Yeah, it would have been overplayed, and Disney would have been like, no, that's endorsing flipping off. Like, one time is okay because it's a joke. Twice, you're starting to say that flipping off is okay. It happens all the time. Yeah. And it's still, you gotta please think of the children. So yeah, that was original Stanley cameo. I thought that would have been funny.
Maybe I think it might be in the director's cut.
That would be great if instead of having him as the Xandarian ladies man,
like as a deleted scene, not in the movie itself.
Yeah, just
as
have
a deleted scene. They actually filmed it happening.
That would have been kind of funny if he was in there, and then as they're walking by, he's like, "I know you," or "I know you," because.
He was a ladies' man.
Or Rocket Raccoon. No, don't I recognize you?
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah, never mind.
Like him being still in the collection, but as they're walking by, he's like, I know you guys.
Oh, yeah. Stan Lee is
Don't I know you?
Wait a minute.
Excelsior.
I'm pretty sure you were supposed to be taller.
It's like, I didn't draw him that way. Speaking of Stan Lee, at Salt Lake Comic-Con.
That would be breaking the fourth wall, wouldn't it?
Stanley is the man who can break the fourth wall,
okay.
I think.
Yeah, I mean, just having him in the movie breaks the fourth wall.
Yeah, exactly. I think that there's a theory out there that Stanley is Uatu the Watcher in human form. And Uatu the Watcher is a giant, he just sits there and he watches major events happen. Yeah, okay, so you do know who Uatu is.
Yeah, you explained him to me a couple weeks ago.
Oh,
I want to say.
Okay. I don't remember what I tell people. Yeah, but that's the theory, is that he's Uatu the Watcher, just in human form, and he's just everywhere that he needs to be. So whenever you see him, it's like,
that is a good theory.
It's a major event. Yeah. But at Salt Lake Comic-Con, somebody asked him the question, how do you feel about the Falcon taking over Captain America's shield and becoming Captain America?
And he goes, he took over for Captain America? As a question? And he says, oh, don't worry, it's only a temporary thing, I'm sure.
So Stanley has said, relax, you people who are hating on Black Captain America.
Blackton America.
Captain Falcon.
Captain Falcon.
Falcon Punch.
He's not going to be Captain America for long.
No. Steve Rogers will get his super soldier serum back somehow.
Yeah. Scott, I'm too excited. Can you please say the next news article?
Cory, I have news for you.
Yeah?
Do you like Deadpool?
I love Deadpool.
How much do you love Deadpool?
I love him so much that if he
were here... As much as you like chimichangas?
Yeah, I would give him a chimichanga if he were here.
Okay, and he would not kill you.
Yeah.
Because you gave him a chimichanga.
Yeah, he'd kill both of you, and then him and I would record a podcast. It's time for Cory and Deadpool.
He'd kill you with the chimichanga.
Actually,
you know what? That
irony.
Might be true. Yeah. That's being ironic.
A chimichanga is a terrible thing to waste.
There is a Deadpool movie coming out. And this is not like it's a rumor, it might happen eventually. It's been set for 2016 in August.
Oh my gosh. This is like my dream come true. This is for those of you who have watched my YouTube videos, the few that I've done. One of them is my top 5 superhero movies that need to happen, and number 2 was Deadpool, so that's number 1 that we're getting because Wonder Woman is coming, and I think we need to get a Wonder Woman movie. Yeah. Number 2 is happening, so we just need to work on 3, 4, and 5 now. So they're taking my advice to heart, and I am super excited.
They're listening to the podcast.
Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly. Everybody who is anybody listens to this podcast.
Yep. So those of you who listen, you are somebody.
So, Adam, we showed you the Deadpool footage, the test footage, before the podcast started.
Hilarious.
Very funny, wasn't it?
It would be an action-packed
comedy.
Mm-hmm. then I would love it.
Yeah. And I think that it works really well. Oh my gosh. We've got Adam has a whole bunch of Deadpool memes on his phone that he is going to be pulling out for the rest of the episode.
I love Deadpool.
Don't distract Cory with all this Deadpool, all right?
Too much.
He's
Deadpool.
already too distracted. He couldn't even do his part of the job.
What? I did everything. I did everything correctly.
You just couldn't even say the one topic.
Well, I wanted to react. Cory reacts to
Deadpool.
All right, moving on to some other comic properties. Dredd 2 is coming.
About time.
Yeah. It didn't make too much. The first movie with Karl Urban didn't make too much in the box office.
It was fantastic.
It was just everybody had kind of a stigma from from the other Dredd movie, the Judge Dredd movies. Yeah,
the bad Dredd with Sylvester
I
Stallone.
am the law.
Dredd never takes his helmet off in the comics. That's against the regulations for a officer of the law.
Yeah, when they're on duty, they don't take their helmet off.
And then when Sylvester Stallone does it, he decides to, I can't be in a movie without everyone seeing my face, so I'm going to take my helmet on the first 30 seconds of the movie and never put it back on.
Yeah, but Karl Urban said, no, I'll wear the helmet the entire time. He did, and the movie was fantastic.
The movie was great.
Yep, if you haven't seen it.
I haven't, but I remember when I went to FanX, I went to his panel, and there were a lot of people asking if there was going to be a Dredd 2 and whatever, and at that time, he was like, I would love to do another one or things like that.
Yeah.
And
he
so
played a perfect Dredd.
Oh, he did. He did absolutely wonderful.
And I never knew he had an accent.
Oh yeah, he's
Australian.
Australian, yeah. He's really cool. So Dredd 2 is coming, and it is not going to be a sequel, but rather a origin story for the Dredd character.
That's fine, because all the Dredd comics
not like this is my training in the academy, you know.
All the Dredd comics are like collections, and they're their own thing. They don't really tie into any others.
A snippet of time during the life of Dredd.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Exactly. So we're gonna see that coming. I'm okay with that because the movie Dredd kind of jumps in the middle in like you guys said in a snippet. So this one will be a nice little so this is Dredd's first day on the job or whatever. You know? Yeah. Day one. And then we're getting Patrick Warburton coming back as the Tick for an Amazon Prime TV series.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But so, I actually enjoyed the Tick movie or the TV series when it was out.
They did really good. The cartoon's funny too and everything. So, and his sidekick Mothman.
Yeah.
But moving over to Disney, Adam, you're a fan of Frozen.
I am a fan of Frozen.
Yes, you are. Judging from Saturdays, you are a big fan of Frozen. I just realized that
I'm a fan of ice cream as well.
The way our table is laid out, it looks like Superman with a computer head. It's like Arnim Zola had a child with Superman.
Oh, no.
But they are coming out with a new Frozen short.
Woo!
That's, I'm sure, going to be just as funny as the movie. And
that was Adam's first woo.
Welcome to the podcast.
We've now upgraded you from intern geek to associate geek.
Well, I could be a paid intern geek now instead of just working intern.
Geek Esquire.
We can only pay you in like chocolate.
Scoops.
In scoops.
Scoops.
Yeah.
Scoops and dew.
In fact, I think also, like, I'm planning our night out after the podcast. Ice cream, Winter Soldier, and maybe some Super Smash Brothers. Sure. Because we said Captain Falcon, and I'm like...
So we got the Tick. We got... what about Frozen?
So, yeah, Frozen, the animated short.
All we found out that... you didn't say it, actually, I don't think.
No, I did. That was the woo.
Yeah.
I heard...
that the animated short.
I'm lost. Yeah. I'm lost.
No,
where am I?
We're not talking about Lost.
Where am I?
We're not talking about Lost on this podcast.
Where am I? I don't recognize this hive of scum and villainy.
And then the last thing that I want to talk about is this Tuesday, Bungie just dropped their first non-Halo game.
And did it bounce back?
Yeah. Yes, it did. Destiny is out for people to play. I hear from everybody, they say it's really good.
You showed us the trailer right before we started recording.
Which we'll get into in the trailers.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Their live action trailer is really good for it.
This is going to be a long one.
Yeah. We haven't even gotten to trailers yet.
This is a double-length episode because we missed split one. Yeah. No, we're not splitting it. We're just going to upload the whole thing.
Part. We'll call this Scribble, Scribble, Scribble Part 1, but there will never be a Part 2.
Scribble, Scribble, Scribble Part 2.
Part 2.
Part 2.
But Destiny, everybody who talks about it says it's really cool. It's kind of like a mix between a first-person shooter
so it's out?
and MMO. Yep, it is out now.
Is it on PC?
It is.
Yeah.
Is it on PC?
I thought so.
I thought it was PlayStation and Xbox and coming to PC.
Any game that's any game should be on PC.
I'm sure it will be on PC, but I mean, we can go rent it from Redbox and play it on my wife's PlayStation or your Xbox.
Because I thought I saw it advertised on Steam, but maybe I was just looking up things online and I saw advertisements.
Write that down for later.
Yeah, we'll write that down. We'll look that up and maybe play a little Destiny.
Yeah, maybe.
I keep hearing people say it's kind of like Borderlands, but kind of a Borderlands Halo mix.
That's what I heard.
Yeah. So it looks pretty cool. Right. And let's go ahead and get into trailers, and we'll talk about the Destiny trailer. So the Destiny trailer is live action, and
which is usually not taken very well in the gaming community. A lot of people like their games. They play their games to get out of real life, so they don't want to see real life people in them. I think the only games that pretty much worked good with this was the Command & Conquer series, where they had the cutscenes. And even then, it was a little jarring. It would cut from a full, 3D graphics game to real people talking. You're like, wait, what?
When did Billy D. Williams get here?
That and like the Wing Commander and some of those older games too.
Yeah, a lot of military games used to do that, where they would cut to a guy sitting at a very military-looking table talking to you. But the Destiny live action trailer looks really cool. Scott was saying that he wanted a full movie. That kind of was like that.
Yeah, it was that good.
Yeah.
When you started, I didn't even realize it was a game at first, and I thought this was just a movie that was coming out. Because you're like, oh, it's got Peter Dinklage in. He's the voice of the little robot that follows around. I'm like, this is awesome. I want this as a movie.
Yeah. And then they start.
And then you found out, then you told me it was a game, and I was actually kind of disappointed.
Yeah.
What? I was like, oh.
And then he's like, oh, music, sir? Yeah, something classical. And they start playing Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Which I absolutely love. So that was a really good one. We also saw a trailer for The Hateful Eight.
Yes, the new Quentin Tarantino movie that's coming out.
Which is supposed to be kind of like his take on The Magnificent Seven, which is an old Western movie.
Spaghetti Western is what they call those.
Yep, and it looks, I mean, it's just a teaser trailer where it introduces some of the characters that are going to be in there. You don't get to even see their faces.
It just says their name
and
then
their title.
The title or nickname
like
or whatever.
Bob the Mexican.
Yeah, Bob the Mexican. You know what?
But at the end of it, I kind of found myself going, yeah, I'm ready for this. Bring on another Quentin.
It's Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah.
I have yet to see a movie he's produced that I hated. I mean, I watch them all, and I'm like, this is pretty cool.
We saw a couple Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 2 trailers.
Yes.
I'm really excited for it. It seems like they're continuing on with this theme of we're rebels on the run from the government and trying to take down Hydra at the same time.
Yeah.
Hail Hydra.
What? Gotcha, sucker.
Get off my podcast.
That's how he runs.
I'm back.
I forgot my phone. Oh no! Oh, more memes. We saw the trailer for the Monsters sequel. Scott, what's Monsters?
So Monsters is a show from I think 2006, 2007, where basically a giant asteroid lands on Earth, and inside of it are organisms.
Giant tendrily organisms.
Yeah. Well, and I don't even think that they were in the thing. I think it was just enough genetic matter, and they grew basically. Okay. And they kind of just started moving outward in South America, and so they're trying to get everyone out of South America. And they build these giant walls and stuff that are supposed to stop them. And that movie is a like
found footage,
handheld camera movie where
shaky cam.
Yeah, two people are trying to, get across the border.
Yeah,
because they missed the last boat, out of whatever country they were in, and it's actually pretty good. But you don't see a lot of the you see the monsters near the end. You kind of see them like off in the distance, but you can't really tell who they are.
Cloverfield style.
Yeah, you don't get any close-ups till the end.
Yeah, you don't get close-ups till the end, just like Cloverfield.
But this one looks like it's going to be a military fighting the monsters movie.
Yeah,
which looks really cool. And I drew the parallel to Alien and Aliens, where the first one was kind of this thriller where you're like, I gotta hide. And then Aliens was the Marines going in and trying to destroy the alien or the xenomorphs on the planet.
Yeah.
So it looks really cool. I think the graphics are really well done for being
more of an indie.
Yeah, it is more of an independent project.
Yeah.
It's
called Monsters: The Dark Continent.
The Dark Continent. So go check it out. Take a look. I like the way the monsters look. There's some cool big ones, some cool small ones.
Well, and there's not a lot. Have you noticed? Did you notice in the trailer there wasn't a lot of monsters attacking humans? It was more of just the humans attacking the monsters.
Yeah, the monsters were just
they were kind of just moving around,
like migrating.
Yeah, and the humans were like, we got to kill them.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe they'll take that route of like they're semi-peaceful creatures,
and we just don't like aliens.
We don't like them on the planet. Yeah,
they're foreign to us.
The world is racist, and so am I.
Apparently, everyone take note from Cory.
Yeah, exactly. Just follow my example. That's exactly what I want you to do. We also saw a bunch of like character trailers for a game coming out called Heroes of the Storm. It's a Blizzard game, so of course I made everybody watch it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm the Blizzard fanboy. We got to see some fun little trailers of heroes that you can play in this brand new MOBA coming out.
Mm-hmm. I loved Heroes of the Storm when they announced it way back when, and watched like Day 9 and some other people who got like early access to it and then play it.
Yeah.
And it looks way fun and just like, and then all these new characters. Yeah, like how is that going to implement with or how's that going to work with these other characters? Is it going to be a good combo?
How's it going to change the game and change the meta of the game and everything like that?
Yeah.
I have the Heroes of the Storm technical alpha, and so does Scott, and we've played a little bit of it.
It's fun.
And, it's really fun.
Do you guys have you guys played the new characters, or are those ones that are going to be coming out soon?
No, they're out. Every character that's been announced is already out. Like they announce them and then put the character in the game. They don't say this character's coming in a month or so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I've played a few characters. I haven't gone through and played all of them yet. I'm excited. I just bought Muradin, not like with money, but with gold that you can earn
in the in-game,
the in-game currency. And I just bought Muradin, which is one of the ones we saw, and I'm super excited to try him out because I love his character in Warcraft. And that's the thing about Heroes of the Storm is it's a MOBA that takes people from all the different universes that Blizzard owns, StarCraft, Diablo, and Warcraft, and they put them up against each other, so you can finally answer that age-old question of who would win a fight between Kerrigan and Zeratul, or not Kerrigan and
Diablo.
Diablo or Tyrael or whatever. Which, according to Scott, the answer is always Kerrigan.
Oh yeah, of course.
And then we saw another Flash trailer.
Yep. I'm getting more and more excited for this.
Yep.
I can't wait until
So my problem with the Flash trailers is we've already seen the pilot. Because
that's your problem.
Yes, and all of the scenes are from the pilot episode.
Yep.
But it's like watching a movie in reverse. Watching the movie first and then watching the trailers for it and going, I'd rather just watch the movie again,
But that's your problem. What did we have an unbiased opinion?
I knew there was a reason we hired you for the day.
I thought that the trailer was really cool. I'd only read things and seen things on Facebook about the new Flash movie coming out.
TV series.
Or a TV series, sorry. And
give me your geek card.
I just got it.
You'll get this back at the end of the podcast.
But I mean, it looked really fun and really, really cool. And I hope that they keep coming out with more TV shows like this.
Yep.
I think DC is going to do really well in the TV universe. Oh, and by the way, people, official geek card.
We have them.
Yeah.
They are pretty sweet.
Yeah, they are really cool. They're kind of plain,
very official.
But yeah, we don't mess around here at Acts of Geekery Inc.
You couldn't remember our name for a second there.
No. I was just wondering if if the company is the same name, because like how sometimes porno companies call themselves by a different company name so that they can get away with it on billing.
I don't know anything about porno. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, right. Okay, never mind then.
Is this Acts of Geekery LLC? Inc,
I wish we had an LLC. Acts of Geekery Corp. Geek Corp. Well, that's all the trailers that we saw.
Yeah, not too many trailers. Tons of news, not very many trailers.
But there's still some good trailers out there. So let's go ahead and we'll get into our picks of the week. And we're going to start this week with our guest star, Miss second woo. Here, you get your geek card back. There you go.
Okay.
Mr. Adam Call, what is your pick of the week this week?
So my pick of the week, I just finished the first season, which isn't too impressive since there's only 3 episodes. But it's the BBC Sherlock. And my brother was watching it.
With
Bennedict Cumberblack.
Cumberbatch.
And so it's I just love it. They're like an hour and a half episodes.
They're almost movie length just by themselves.
Yeah.
But I just love...
I haven't watched it yet. But
I love the actors in it, for one. And then I just love the storyline.
So you've got
episode.
Benedict Cumberbatch as Sherlock Holmes, and you've got Martin Freeman as Watson, and then everyone else is not really important. Those are the only 2 that you really care about.
Yeah.
There might be like a police officer.
I can't remember if the first season, does it go over Moriarty?
That was the last episode of
the guy
first
that they got.
season.
The guy that got to play Moriarty, I thought did a pretty good job.
Yeah, he did, and it caught me off guard.
It's creepy.
But once it happened, you're like, makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It gets crazier.
Yep.
All right, Scott. I see this little weird...
I had another pick of the week in the middle of the episode, and I was like, yes, that's what I'm going to do. And now I can't remember at all. So
let's go with your first one.
What is... So what I've been kind of geeking out this week is a company called Pop in a Box.
Ball in a cup.
Yeah. Pop in a box.
Pop in a box.
You get soda in a box. No, it's a company, and right now I'm geeking out over it, but I'm very sad about it.
Yeah.
Because it is UK only right now.
Oh.
I know. So what it is you sign up for it. It's like Nerd Block or Loot Crate, which I've kind of touted on the show before.
Yeah.
Or any other number of subscription boxes. They've got the Dollar Shave Club, and they've got Bark Box, they've got Bark Box,
which is for dogs,
which is for your dog. It sends treats for your dog. I think it's really cool.
Treats and toys.
Yeah. And this one is Funko Pops.
Like just a Funko Pop.
You get a random Funko Pop every month in a box.
Oh my gosh.
And a couple other little goodies.
Oh my gosh.
Like a keychain. Like last month's was
how much does it cost?
It's €8.99, and I think
it's like
$12.
Yeah, it's like 12 or 13 bucks.
$12 or $13.
Which pays for the Funko Pop and the shipping and all the other stuff that you get with it too.
Shipping might be extra. I didn't double check.
Oh, okay. It doesn't matter.
I posted on their Facebook page. If you make a U.S. version or you start shipping to the U.S., you've got a customer right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I will sign up for it.
So for all of our UK listeners, try Pop in a Box.
You just need to get like a P.O. box or whatever in Europe.
And just fly over there once a year?
Well, no, just have it, every mail that goes to that, forwarded to America.
Okay.
Or how about you pay me $15? I will go out each month and buy you a random Funko Pop figure.
I don't know. Will you buy a Funko Pop plus some cool keychains and some candy? Because that's what came in the other one.
Oh yeah,
sure.
Like I'll buy some candy too. Maybe not a keychain. Yeah. What am I, made of money?
Well, if I'm paying you, yes. That's what I was geeking out about, and I was really bummed to find out that it was UK only.
Yeah, that sucks.
Because that just seems perfect. And I wish Nerd Block had an option. You could sign up for Nerd Block, and you could say receive, a T-shirt every month and a Funko Pop every month, and it's like $5 more or something like that.
You would definitely do that.
I'd sign up for that in a heartbeat. I love Funko Pops. I think they're great. I've already picked them as a pick of the week.
Yeah.
A couple episodes ago.
So wait, you're cheating. You're doing kind of a similar... forget it. Never mind. So my pick of the week this week, Saturday night after Comic-Con was over, We had some people over for a party, and we started playing games. We played King of Tokyo, which is a fun game and everything.
Yeah, it wasn't as fun as I thought it would be, though.
I thought it was actually pretty fun. I think we need to play it a couple more times.
It's rather simple. I think that's why.
Yeah, you need to play it a couple more times.
That, and I was also dead in like a round and a half.
Yeah, so, yeah. We need to play it a couple more times, and it feels a lot like Zombie Brains or whatever, Zombie Dice, where you just try and roll dice and get the most brains possible. Yeah. But then we sat down and we played a full game, and I am talking every single card in the deck, plus a couple expansions of Cards Against Humanity.
Yes.
And oh my gosh, if you want to play apples to apples, but you don't want to play like a kiddie type of apples to apples, which is apples to apples, go play Cards Against Humanity.
It's a little
definitely adult.
Yeah, it is definitely adult.
But it's hilarious.
We had so much fun with it. That probably was the final nail in the coffin that killed my voice. Was laughing so hard at every single round and the things, and it was the most fun thing about it is playing down the card and saying like, oh, how do I want to die? And just listening to the entire table look at their cards and go,
everyone giggles.
Yeah. Oh, this is so bad. Oh, this is so good, so bad. Yeah. So if you haven't played Cards Against Humanity, it's free. You can go and print it off the internet and shuffle your own paper cards.
Or you can buy the official cards, which are nice. They're heavier duty, almost cardboard style.
Yeah, pretty much
on Amazon.
Yep.
Only on Amazon. You can't buy it in stores.
Oh well, it's still. I mean, Amazon's where I buy most of my stuff anyway. So it's great. Go check it out. And
my face hurt so bad from smiling and laughing.
My back was killing me from laughing so much.
And everyone that's listening goes like, "Why would you ever play this?" Then it's hilarious. Yeah. It's so fun.
You'll have a lot of fun with it.
I don't think I've had that much fun in a long time.
It is a late night game. It is not something like, oh, we're waking up in the morning, let's play Cards Against Humanity. It's one of those games where you've been partying for like an hour or so with your friends, or they come over to hang out, and you're like, you guys are all in a good mood. If you're drinkers, maybe you got a couple drinks in you, and you're finally like, okay, let's play Cards Against Humanity, because we are primed and ready to laugh. Because I've noticed that with games like Apples to Apples before, where if you play it early in the morning, or if you play it where like you go over to somebody's house just to play that game, like, oh, we're gonna have so much fun playing Apples to Apples, and you get there and you just start playing. You kind of the jokes aren't as funny. Everything's not as entertaining.
They're not in the mood.
Yeah, exactly. You kind of have to work yourself to that point.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it's great.
Yeah,
it's great. And I guess our overall pick of the day would be Comic-Con.
Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Go to Comic-Con.
It would be great.
Spend some money. Spend more money than you expected.
Yeah.
Seems to happen.
I was under budget.
I was not. I was right at my budget, and only because I brought cash.
Yeah,
I left all my credit cards home, which is a good thing. Otherwise, I'd been like, bye.
Yep.
And if you're out of state, come to Utah.
There were a lot of out of state people, from what I heard.
Surprising, actually. Which that's why San Diego Comic-Con is so threatened by it.
Yeah,
because we're only how many hours away from.
It's kind of in the middle of. It's kind of like in the middle of the
10 hours drive.
Yeah, it's in like the middle of the western half of the U.S.
Yeah.
And so it's perfect for all those western half of the U.S. states to drive to, rather than San Diego, which is all the way on the coast.
Yeah.
They can kind of just go halfway, find cheaper park. I mean, it's not that expensive. Even when they jack up the prices for hotels, it's nowhere near what San Diego charges.
Exactly. For now.
For now.
Adam.
Glad I live fairly close.
Thanks for joining us.
Yes,
it was super fun having you. I'm sure everybody at home liked it too. And I'm sure you liked it as you were re-listening to the podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I know I will.
And you will absolutely hate how you sound.
I know that already.
I'm still not used to it. I'm like, you guys actually like hearing me talk when I sound like that.
That's how I feel too.
But this has been the Acts of Geekery podcast. I'm Cory.
11, and I'm Scott.
And I'm Adam.
And that's us.
Yeah, keep geeking out.
Stay classy, Salt Lake.
See ya.
Okay.
the sound goes out my mouth and into the microphone.